Or just type in the chat if you can see it. Just open up the chat. Great, thank you, Marie. Thank you for your response. All right, I'm so excited to be here to be introducing emGuarde Japan's latest patented technology. Thank you, Raymond. We call this the emGuarde. So EM stands for electromagnetic, guard, which means we're going to guard against the electromagnetic rays. So before we start, did anyone remember their childhood games? So earlier when you were young, we used to play like the outdoors, play at school. But nowadays, do you realize that all these children, even if you go to a cafe or a restaurant, you look around you, everyone is just on their phones, right? Everyone's either they're on your phone, they're either talking on each other on WhatsApp rather than talking face to face. Am I right? If I'm right, just type an R in a group chat. Like this is happening all around us. We're all on our devices today. Thank you for your response, Michelle. Thank you for your response, Raymond. Now, if you look around you, now I want you to take a look around you in your living room. Do you see a TV or aircon or devices? Like all of these devices, this is actually from NASA. All these devices are emitting a kind of EM radiation waves. Now, it looks like this, but imagine if you can see this in your living room, would you allow your loved ones or your kids to play in their living room for 4 to 6 hours? No, right? Yeah, because if we see this, they call this the invincible killer. We cannot see it. That's why we don't know. Now, there are a lot of EM radiation around us. For example, your aircon. You turn on your aircon when you're sleeping, and then you go to work. You go to work in your car, you turn on the aircon again. Then you go in the office, you're under the aircon again. After work, maybe a 9 to 5 job, you come back in a car aircon, and then back in a home aircon, and then you sleep, right? We're constantly being exposed to these kind of things. Even your phones. Who have an iPhone here today? If you have an iPhone, just press an I on the group chat an I. If you have Samsung, Oppo, that's absolutely okay too. But ladies, whoever is here, I know Marie is here and a few ladies are here. I know us ladies, we put in our bags, right? That's how we keep our phones when we go outside. But men, where do they keep their phones? You can type in a chat. Where normally do men keep their phones? Usually at their pockets, right? Yeah, right. Raymond, Marie, yes, at their pockets. Thank you, Michelle. At their pockets. And when you put in your pocket, it's near your reproductive organs. And all the typical like businessmen, if you see, they put on the jacket, they put on near their front coat here, right? And it's near their heart. Exactly. Now, EM radiation not only comes out from our phones, our laptops. Right now, you're actually exposed to EM radiation, so have an emGuarde right now. As I'm looking at you, we're still exposed to our laptops, even microwaves. Oh my goodness. Now, I'm a public health student, so I graduated with public health, and I would say please stay away from microphones, microwave. Microwave, even though it's fast and easy, but the heating of the electricity itself, it changes the molecules of your food. So if you have a little bit of time, just heat up your food on the pan. That's the greatest. So high tension cable, even your TVs. Now, EM radiation waves, they have this wave of spectrum. There is the ionizing and the non-ionizing part. The red part, not ionizing, if you see in a spectrum here, it's high energy. For example, if someone gets into an accident and they go into an emergency, the doctor will say, hey, I need you an MRI, I need you an UV, right? Or an X-ray scan. We are exposed to it in a short term. That's when our DNA deteriorates. But I want to draw your attention to the non-ionizing wave here. From 3 megahertz to 1000 megahertz. That is what we're exposed to every single day. Now, the FCC, which is the Federal Communication of Commission, in their research, they say that our body here, if you see this body here with thunders and things, did you know that our body is a big electrical conductor? If you remember from chemistry, there's positive ions, there's negative ions. We're a great conductor of electricity. And guess what? Even our brain, all of our organs, our heart, our liver, if you see this frequency table on the right here of body organs, we are all emitting a kind of frequency. And what the FCC reports here is that at some frequency, the human body absorbs RF energy at some frequency more effectively than others at the range of 30 to 300. Can you all type in the chat 30 to 300? Now our body, that means our body absorbs this kind of megahertz the most efficient. We absorb it the most when it's between the range of 30 to 300 megahertz. Thank you, Ishar. Thank you, Raymond. I love this being interactive. Now, what is resonance? I've never been to a physics class, but if you all have been in a physics class, this is the only physics topic that I ever learned. This is called resonance. Now, this man, he will, what do you call this? A fork. He will hit at a note of 512 megahertz. When it resonates the same frequency, that's when it will affect each other. If it's a different frequency, it will not affect each other. So let's look at the video together. Great. Now this is called resonance. When we are operating the same frequency as the external factors, it will affect our organs. Now, how does EM radiation affect our health? We're going to the research and the science behind it. Now, in 2011, WHO, everyone knows WHO here, right? I learned this in school. I learned a lot about WHO. But even in this paper, at the second line of the black wording, you said, if you can see it, radio frequency electromagnetic fields as possibly carcinogenic to humans based on an increased risk of glioma, a malignant type of brain cancer associated with wireless phone use. Oh my goodness. Even WHO have already came out with this research telling about the association of EM radiation with your wireless phone use. And it says that it could cause brain cancer. Wow. I know a dear friend of mine who actually is, she does a lot of calls with her clients. So every time she talks to her clients, maybe like 40 minutes to 45 minutes, that long. And usually, right, let me ask you a question. After you talk to your clients, maybe like your loved one, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, right? After like 30 minutes, for example, what do you experience on the phone? You can type in a chat. Do you experience any like heat, sweat, or anything? Yeah, after 30 minutes, you feel even your cheeks are red, right, on this side. Then what do? You change it to this side, right? I learned this, yes, sweat, Marie, thank you, Raymond. The heat emanating from the handphone, exactly, you all know it. Simon, I remember I heard Simon say this, he calls this cooking your brain. After you cook well done on one side, then you cook well done on this side. So we don't want that. Actually, the greatest way, a healthier option is, if you notice I know my mom does it. I don't know if you do. You can type yes if they do this. My mom, she talks on her phone not like this, but like this, on loudspeaker, for everybody to hear in the restaurant, in the car. She does talk very, very loud and on loudspeaker so we can hear a conversation, of course. So that is actually a healthier way to not get it too close to your brain. Yes, cooking your brain, exactly. But of course, if you have any sensitive information, go to a room. Now, another research by Dr. Magda Havas. Wow, I really love her research. Why? Because she shows that EMR, she calls it electromagnetic pollution, electrosmog, how it affects our red blood cells at a cellular level. Now, there are three boxes here. There's two blue boxes. The bottom one, if you see it, this is what a healthy red blood cell looks like. In a clean EMR environment, it's spread out, there's oxygen passing through. But after 70 minutes of computer use, and look at this old model computer, oh my goodness, her research is done a long time ago. Now we have like Apple laptops, like tablets and iPads, right? After 70 minutes of this old CPU use, look at that blood. It's forming like a coin, like a worm or an earthworm or chaching, you can call it. And 10 minutes after an old model phone here, this is quite big, right? Oh, model phone, 10 minutes, rouleau formation. This is called a rouleau formation. In French, it's a rouleau for French. It's a French word. But what happens? Why, if your blood is stacking like this, how does it affect you? When your blood is stacking like this, it means that there is poor circulation, there is low oxygen transport between the cells, there's reduced waste removal, there's no nutrients flowing through back and forth, and then you get a lot of headache, a lot of fatigue, a lot of difficulty concentrating, and also a numbness, tingling in the cold extremities, maybe in your fingertips. Now for me, when I use, actually this year, I changed my phone to iPhone 14 Pro Max, and I usually use it on my left. And guess what? Guess what, guys? My arm have been having this numbness. It's crazy, numbness. And I'm like, wow, this radiation is pretty high. Pretty high. And then I realized, why is my arm getting numb? If anyone has experienced this in a group chat, type Y in a group chat if you've ever experienced numbness from using your phones. Raymond, yes. Marie too. Michelle too. Why? Wow. I'm not the only one. And when I'm I'm thinking, why is there numbness in my arm? I remember Dr. Magda Harvest's research. When your blood cells are stacking like so, there's no oxygen. That's why there's numbness in the arm. Pretty scary, right? So now I try as much as I can. If you see the emGuarde behind me, is it too black? Oh, right here? Yeah. So I have the emGuarde behind me. I want to make sure I am protected. This is a spectrum. Now, there is slightly dangerous, very dangerous, and health hazard. The symptoms of long exposure to EM radiation. Now, if you see the symptoms here, there's muscle pain and numbness, concentration and learning problems, memory loss, fatigue, headache, heart problems, infertility. If you notice a lot of IT people, right, they're sitting constantly in front of IT, a lot of devices. You can search it up. There's a lot of correlation between having IT people and also infertility. Ouch, did Marie say ouch? Eye soreness and blindness, immune system recovery, sleeping problems, stress and anxiety problems, DNA mutation. Now, if we are exposed to EM radiation, an invisible killer that we cannot see, it will affect us in the long term. Now, remember, now there's a spectrum between slightly dangerous. I want you to pay attention to the health hazard, 1,500 to 2,000 microwatts. Okay. Now, I'm going to switch off, stop share for a little bit, and I'm going to come to me. If everybody can see me, type in a group, just give me a thumbs up if you can see me. I've already switched from the... Great, thank you, Marie. All right, remember the spectrum's 1,500 to 2,000 microwatts. That's a very health hazard spectrum. And so today, I'm going to show you a really quick demo. We have what we call the radiation detector, the RD9100. This detects the microwatts, how much radiation is coming off of my phone. Now, I've already measured Samsung, Oppo, Huawei, you've named it, but I'm going to show you what emGuarde can do, okay? So first things first, turn off the emGuarde. Okay, so I have emGuarde right behind me here. If you see this light and it's breathing, it's turned on. I'm going to turn it off, all right? And I'm going to measure the EM radiation from my phone. If this radiation detector goes to number 1, if you only see the number 1, type 1 in the group chat, yeah? Because if the number 1 only comes out, it means that it's above 2,000 microwatts. And it's already health hazard, and we're exposed to this every single day. So I'm going to turn it on, and wow, it's 300, jumping to 700, jumping to 600. It's crazy. It's beeping like crazy. And this is iPhone 14 Pro, so Pro Max. So if any one of you have iPhone 14 Pro Max, this is what's happening. I haven't even turned on your phone. Now, how do you normally watch your videos? You watch just like this, unlock? No, you actually use your phone, right? And a lot of children play a lot of videos. So I'm going to show you why my arm has been getting numb, okay? So I'm going to go to neutral. So far, you see I'm measuring my arm, it's 0. That means there's no EM radiation happening right here. But I'm going to turn on, if anyone can see here, I'm going to turn on the video. Okay, let's see. What's on Netflix today? Hotel Transylvania 3. Okay, let's turn this on. I'm gonna measure the radiation coming off of this. 1. And guess what? It travels down my arm until maybe my elbow. Wow. Can you imagine? Wow. Now, this is what's happening. That's why my arm has been getting numb. So for Raymond, I remember earlier, I think Marie too, you said your arm does get numb. This is what happens. Why? Because EM radiation is passing through your arm and it's affecting your body. That's crazy. Now I'm gonna turn this back on and I'm gonna turn emGuarde on and let's see what emGuarde can do, okay? Let's see it together. It's 1 right now. I'm gonna turn on emGuarde. Wow. You see that? Do you catch that? It's straight to 0. 0. Amazing. I love emGuarde. So I want to protect myself, my family. Actually, me and my family have 2 emGuardes, 1 upstairs, 1 downstairs on each side. So I want to make sure we're all covered. But this is the power of emGuarde. So if I use my phone, go down my arm, see? There's no one beeping. There's no EM radiation happening through. Amazing. So that is a very short demo of what emGuarde does. I'm going to switch back on to the slides. So earlier, remember, my phone was above 1, which means above 2,000. And guess what? The health hazard level is, oh my goodness, 1,500 to 2,000 microwatts. That's crazy. And mind you, I've already measured other brands and other models. I'm not trying to trash on Apple. But this is what we're dealing every single day. If you're shocked at seeing the demo, type S in the group chat. Mary, yes, that's why anxiety strikes. Yep, Mary, normally turn on all gadgets mode or better, turn it off. Thank you, Mary. Thank you for that suggestion. Yes, she said that when it's better to put on airplane mode or even better before you sleep, turn your phone off. I know it's hard. If you don't have alarm, maybe just put a turn on airplane mode and then your alarm will still ring. I know some of you don't have that old alarm thing already. Thank you, Marie. Thank you for that suggestion. The other research that is done, now this is so interesting. If you noticed, actually, let me just go through this slide. This is Dr. Liu Renjie. He is a vice president of Hemi Eye Hospital. So he's an ophthalmologist. That means the doctor of the eye. And what he did was he took 10 participants. So if you see this table down here, N10, which means 10 participants, he put them in 3 stages. The first stage, he just measured the average blood flow microcirculation of the eye. So at the first stage is about 20.1 on average out of the 10. And the second stage, after 30 minutes of iPhone use, he asked him to use, just your mobile handphone use. Guess what? The microcirculation dropped to 16.2. Oh my goodness. And the third stage, what he did was he turned on emGuarde, he turned on a technology like emGuarde and he measured the blood flow of your eye. And guess what? It jumped up to 25.9. Wow. If you ask me, right, you're like, Eunice, how come the third stage is better than the first stage? The first stage, they never even play any devices. I would say there are other factors that comes into play. If you're not on your phone, you're either exposed to it in the aircon or LED saving lights, or you're exposed to it to your refrigerator or your microwave, or there's so many other things that are around you that your body is still absorbing. If you notice, I notice this nowadays. In Malaysia, I notice this, but a lot of children now are wearing very, very thick glasses. And the younger, and I think the other day I saw this 4-year-old, he was just wearing these really thick glasses and he was just playing on his device in the restaurant. I'm like, whoa, like everyone, these devices actually affect your eye and your blood circulation of your eye. That's why our eyesight is getting bad a lot faster. Interesting, yeah. And of course, all Kangen users here, if you've been in a Kangen business, you know this book. This is called Killing Cancer, Not People. And even in the book itself, I read this book so many times until the pages are torn. But It also addresses the problem of EMF, which is electromagnetic fields, cordless and cell phones, smart meters, computers, Wi-Fi, and their connection to autism, Alzheimer's, obesity, MS, allergies, cancer, and others. Wow. Even this book already addressed this problem, which means that we are exposed to it constantly. Yes, Gen Z are wearing thick eyewear. Yep, the Gen Z. Oh my goodness, they're all about social media, TikTok, Instagram. They're just all on it, yeah? Yep. So now, did I miss a slide? Anyway, but EM radiation, emGuarde, that's where emGuarde comes in. We also call it the harmonizer, the defender, and it's the best thing about it is low maintenance. You just literally plug, play, and that is it. This patented technology is amazing. I love it. If you might ask me what's the coverage, it's 8 meters in defense. That means 4 meters radius, 4 meter radius. It can go through walls up and down. So if your house is 2 levels, I would highly suggest it put it at a higher shelf so that it can covers up and down. So this is the 8 meters of defense. Marie, top 1 disease since 1990, obesity. Yep. Nowadays, our generation, right? Now, how does emGuarde work? Now, emGuarde technology, what it does is that it breaks the pathway of frequencies between 30 to 1000 megahertz, hence reducing the electric field intensity within its coverage range. So if you see the first picture, the EM radiation is affecting your eyes, affecting your brain. When you turn on emGuarde, it sends out a canceling signal that it breaks the pathway of this EM radiation, as you can see on the second page. Now you might ask me, why 30 to 1000 megahertz only? Because remember, awards, IIC, Triple IC 2017. I'm not going to go too much into it, but these are the awards that we have based on this technology and our credential. So introducing once again this technology. The first part of our session, I've shared about this emGuarde, what it does, how EM radiation affects us and the symptoms of it, how does it affect our blood circulation and the blood circulation in our eye at a cellular level. And now the next part of this session that I'm going to bring you guys along with me is that the business plan. So the retail price of emGuarde is 6,620. Now, so far, before I go into the business plan, type in the group chat, do you think this technology is good? If you think it's good, just type G in the group chat. Awesome. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Raymond. Now, if you think that every household, do you think that every household should need or should have this technology in their home? Type G again if you think so. Thank you, Vadi. Yep. And lastly, do you think anyone who has a handphone or a device in this world right now should need or should have an emGuarde? Type G again if you think so. Yes, absolutely. I 100% agree. Anyone, every household needs this product. It's literally a product that could protect you and your family right now. We always buy insurance for protection in the future, but this protects you right now. And you can actually see how it protects you with the detector. All right. Awesome. Thank you all for being interactive. I love the energy up in this group chat. Keep typing in. I would love to see your response. So coming to the business plan session, once again, it's 6,620 in ringgit. So this is in Malaysia ringgit. And it's about 275 or 276 or rounding off per month for 24 months. Enedic's marketing plan. That's where we come to the exciting part. The exciting part, which is the business part. I get very excited because it's such an exciting opportunity. Now, in Nagic company, they are a 49-year-old private Japanese company that have been running for 49 years, and they have 25 locations, all 42 locations in 25 countries worldwide. And the recent one, they just opened an office in Nigeria. Now, we have so many offices all around the world, which means what? What does this mean, Eunice? This means that it's a global market. Can you believe it? A global market. You're not only restricted to your own country, but it's a global market. Now, what makes Enagic different? Enagic, of course, if you've heard about it, it's 48, but now it's 49-year-old company, private company, and Dr. Hiromi, Dr. Pula, Mr. and Mrs. Oshiro are our founders of Enagic. And also, it's also endorsed by American Anti-Cancer and also the JAPA, which is Japanese Association of Prevention of Adult Diseases. One of the qualities also, when we started, it was first used in Japan hospitals. So like they were big. What I'm sharing is about Kangen. So Enagic is very reputable for Kangen water machines. If you've heard about Kangen before or you own a Kangen machine, type K in the group chat. I own a Kangen machine and I absolutely love the quality of the water. Thank you, Wai Chang. Yeah, NSQ. Yep. Michelle, soon, when? You will not regret it. So it was first built in 1974 in huge Japanese hospitals. They realized that this water, there's 100 ways to use this medical device. This water can help with wounds, can help with so many things. It has 5 years warranty, and it's a lifespan of up to 25 years or more if you take care of it well. And of course, we have a global office, 40 offices in 23 countries. Now, the Enagic business. Whew, I love talking about Enagic business. Now, let me ask you something. If you want to start a business, right? Usually, for example, you want to open up a cafe. I think in Malaysia, I'm speaking only Malaysia, you probably need about 100,000 capital to start. And then after that, you have to probably pay for rentals, stocks. What is your food or coffee that you want to do, your product or services, but cafe in a sense, food. Pay for overhead fee, you have to pay for employees, you have to pay for insurance, you have to pay for all of these overhead fee that usually you miss out. But usually, I heard from a friend that he had to pump at least about 600K just to sustain it in the next 6 months. 600K, that's a lot of capital. And so the one thing that I love about this Enagic business, no problem. I'm not saying that you shouldn't start a cafe. If you want to start a cafe, great. That's your passion. But for me, I'm just speaking it for me. For me, I wanted something that was firstly low cost, low risk. I wanted something low cost and low risk. And of course, if you see the screen right here, there's no monthly qualification, no stocking, no stocks. That means no loading inventory. I think that's a minor spelling error. No annual renewal fee. This is a cumulative sales, which we'll share about a little bit more later. That means it's a group, a teamwork. And earlier, like I said, international borderless sponsoring, which means you can go global. It's a patented compensation plan. And guess what? With emGuarde, it is an untapped market. You know, Sam always say, go global. If you know Sam's, yeah. And I think he's onto something, You should probably listen to him. Now, for those of you Kangen users who have been in this business, I'm going to go through just through the basic. Now, direct sales is when you start with this business, for example, an emGuarde, and you sell it to, let's say, a friend. That is called direct sales. Now, if your friend who you sold the emGuarde to said like, hey, I'm going to sell it to my other friend, this is called an indirect sale. Yeah. So direct sales plus indirect sales will give you your total group sales. That's why it's a group effort. We also have this 8-point commission. It's a patented commission system. Now, I'm only going to talk about one of the commission type. There are more more commission type, but you can ask the person who invited you to this Zoom more about it. But I'm only going to talk about the 8-point commission system. Now, emGuarde is 6,620 in Malaysian ringgit. And what enagic does is that they put aside 2,400 for distributors like you and me, and they split it to 8 parts. So if you see the little cake on your right hand side, divided by 8, 2,400 divided by 8, each point or each pie is 300 ringgit. Okay, and what we have in this business, we have ranks. So for example, when you start this business and you sold to your first 2 direct sale, you become a 1A, which means that you get a point of 300. And then when you sell your 3rd direct sale onwards, you get 600, which means 2 points. So 300 times 2. And then the 3rd sale is when you have accumulation of 10 emGuarde sales. That's when you get the 3 points. So 300 times 3. And then it goes on. So when you become a 4A is when you have 20 cumulative emGuarde sales, 1,200 for each sale. And when you rank up to 5A is when you have 50 accumulation of emGuarde sales altogether with your group. Each sale will be 1,500. And the last rank is called 6A. That means that you would have accumulated 200 emGuarde sales, group sales altogether. And each sale will be 1,800. So this is the ranks in this business. Now 6A, when you reach a 6A rank, you'll get a one-time bonus of 3,000K. And guess what? Did you know that this company pays in USD? I love it. I love it. For me, Malaysian, I love it. Now, you can ask the person that invited you here to share more about 6A, 6A2, 6A2-2, and much more. The commissions get bigger and bigger. And that's what we love about this business. You get to earn, if you put the hard work, you get to earn a passive income when you reach the rank of 6A2-3. But today, I'm only going to talk about this rank. All right. So imagine, for example, after you saw this demo today, you're like, you know what? I'm going to start with an emGuarde. I want to do this business. I know the technology is already great. There is science research backed up with it. And now I want to start this business. So you come with an emGuarde, only 200. Oh, can anyone hear me? YY Chang just said that, yeah, 203 units to go 6A. That's correct. Loud and clear from friends. Maybe you need to tune in the audio. Yeah, thank you everyone on this chat for helping a sister out to help each other to hear. All right, once I think they're gonna help you, Xiaomi, to figure it out, I'm just gonna keep going with the slides, yeah? So when you come in with an emGuarde, 275.8 something per month, and you make your first direct sale, for example, say to Tom, Tom will be your 1A, which means you get 1 point. 1 point is 300 ringgit. We are going to count how much commissions you are going to have through this business, okay? Let's go through it together. Now, if you have your next direct sale, you sell it to Alex under your 1A, you also get 300 ringgit. Now, your third direct sale, do you remember your third direct sale? What rank would you be? YY Chang. friends, iPhone 12. Now your third direct sale, you sell it to Rose. Your third direct sale, you become a 2A, which means 2 points, 2 times 300. You get 600. Now coming back to Tom, imagine Tom had this technology, he had better quality of CP, say, you know what, it really helped me and I really want to share this with my friend Grace, and Grace says like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna get an emGuarde too. You get 300. Why? Because Tom is under your 1A lane. And if Grace said, you know what, I love this business, I saw this business opportunity, I want to share with my other friends, she sells it to Polly, Polly sells it to Arthur, and you get 300 ringgit. Why? Because it's all under your 1A lane. Now, your next direct sale, you sell it to Kim, is still 2A. Why? Because you haven't reached to the 10. Now, Kim, you get 600 ringgit. And what if Kim says like, you know what, I have really great networks. I'm going to share it with Ali, Abu, and Ani because I love this technology and the business plan with it. You also get, guess what, 600 ringgit. Woo, woo. Why? Because Ali, Abun, Ani, and Kim is under your 2A lane. Now, after 10 group sales, your next direct sale, you sell it to May, you get 900, which means 300 times 3. Coming back to Kim, if Ani, if you see here, Ani 2A sell it to Bryce, how much do you think you'll get? You can type in the chat. Rose will be signed 2A. Thank you. Thank you, Maxine. Amazing. Let's go, emGuarde. Bryce, if Ani sells to Bryce, you also still get 600. And if Ani sells to 2 more under her, you also get 600 ringgit from Ben. You also get 600 from Bob. Now, if Bob sells to Joe, you still get 600. And if Bob sells to 2 more people, you still get 600. Now, listen up. If John sells to Dawn, how much do you think he will get? Let's see it together. Now, remember earlier the 8 pieces of pie, each point is 300, which means there's only 8 points that are given out to distributors. Now let's count together how many points left over for you. That's your commission. There's 1 point to John, 2 points to Bob because he's 2A, 2 points to Ani because she's 2A, Kim 2 points, 2A, and you get 1 point left over for you because 8 pieces of the pie already given out. Now if John, so you get 300, which means it's 1 point. Now if John sells to Dave and he sells to Dan, Dave, you get 1 point, but then John becomes 2A. So which means John gets 2 points. So let's count it together. How many left over for you? There's 2 points goes to John, 2 points goes to Bob, 2 points goes to Ani, 2 points goes to Kim, and guess what? No more points left over for you. That is the beauty of 8 points. This company wants to pay just and fair. The people who have been working in this business, they want it to be just and fair. Now for Dan, you get 0. This is called a non-8A sale. A non-8A sale does not count as a group sale if you're not a 6A. So strategy is important. You can talk to the people who invited you to this Zoom today. Strategy is important in business. Now your next direct sale, imagine after 20 group sales, you become a 4A, which means you get 4 points, 1,200. And imagine, wow, you sell it to someone like Simon Low. Whew. Your next direct sale, 5A, you get, after 50 group sales, let's imagine, after 50 group sales, you get 1,500. And after 200 group sales, you found someone like a diamond like Sam Sia. Wow. Under Sam, you get a commission of 1,800 when you do a next direct sale for Sam under 6A. So this is, let me just chat in the group chat real quick. Amazing, like 300. Thank you, Marie. Thank you for being absolutely interactive. I love the interaction on this chat. Great. So this is the business plan. Let me